65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. Yak. Oh my god. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Alright, so I have a lot of yarn goodness to share with you all because I am going to be showing you all my entire personal stash of yarn. So as many of you know, I do dye yarn. I have my own hand-dyed yarn business, Queen's Yarn Boutique. But today I'm going to be flashing my stash, my personal stash. So this is stuff that was either gifted to me or I bought it, or a lot of it is like yarn that I dyed myself and I kept it for myself, whatever reason. It is not in the shop, but yeah, so you all know that I usually keep my yarn around here. But yeah, so I wanted to flash my stash, and maybe this will encourage you to make a video about your stash as well. So don't be ashamed, it's okay. You know, if it's wall to wall yarn, it's okay, it's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with some of the stuff that I have bought. Yeah, let's just start with that, okay? Alright. So the first thing I have, and this is a mini skein because I made a cowl with this, but this beautiful yarn here, oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. It is by Oat Knit Yarn, and Shelly is the dyer for Oat Knit Yarn. She used to be here in Wilson. She had a yarn shop, but it's no longer here, unfortunately. I absolutely love that yarn shop. I felt so at home, and yeah, amazing experience. But yeah, so the name of this colorway is called Gray Bonfire, and I did make a cowl out of this, and what I will do is I will try to find that video because it was a long time ago, but I will try to link it in one of the end cards or in the description box below. So most likely it'll be in the end card at the end screen. But yeah, here it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Let me take the ball band off. Look at that. It is gray with all of these beautiful variations of rainbow. It is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous yarn. And it's super squishy. It's 100% superwash merino wool in a worsted weight. Just super squishy. But yeah, it is gorgeous. I hope that all of that is showing up. All right. So I'm going to try to put things back as I have them so that I won't have like this ginormous mess. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to show you all is super cool. Look at this yarn. Oh my goodness. So this lovely mini skein is by a dyer. Her name is Jennifer, but the name of her company is Knits for Comfort, and that's knits with the number 4 comfort. And so I bought this mini skein of yarn from the Carolina Fiber Fest, like, oh gosh, it was many years ago, 2016, 17, somewhere around there. I bought this. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. But what's so cool about this is that you get a pattern with it and you get a coffee mug. Yeah. So you get a coffee mug. And the way it works is a pattern comes with it, and basically you knit like I guess a cylinder shape, and it fits inside of here. Why I haven't done this yet is beyond me. I think it's because, you know, y'all know that I am just am I like afraid, like deathly afraid of fingering weight, sock weight yarn. I prefer my DK and my worsted, but y'all, I'm trying to get over that this year because I need to make this. But basically this comes off, and so you're pretty much it's not knitting around the cup, but the object that you're making will fit around the cup, and then you take this and you put it inside. Oh my gosh, I don't think she sells these anymore. I'm not sure. But yeah, just so cool, right? All right. Moving on. So the next thing that I want to share with you all is another skein of oat knit yarn. So I used to make crochet samples for Shelly, and then I would get yarn from her shop. And so one of my yarns that I was able to get is this beautiful yarn here. Now, the color is amazing. I mean, look at that. Now, you all know I love my purples, but it has like this beautiful lavender within these speckles. Oh my gosh, look at the speckles. She is such an amazing yarn dyer. But even though I love the color, which is called Purple Possible, and unfortunately, like, she probably does not sell this yarn anymore. I bought this so long ago, but it is made out of 231 yards of 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. Yak. Oh my gosh. Why have I not knit with this or crochet? But I think the reason why is because it's so pretty, and I just want to save it for that special project. I mean, it has yak in it. Like, come on, really? Gosh, it's soft. It's beautiful, but I really do need to use this yarn, y'all. I really, really do. All right. Moving on. So this yarn is fairly recent. It's probably the last yarn that I bought. I bought this at the Carolina Fiber Fest, and I was trying to think whose booth did it come from. Oh gosh, I didn't see her face. Oh my goodness, where did I get this yarn? Because on the outside it says Indigo Mountain Dye Works. This is the company. But I was trying to think of the booth that I bought it from. It wasn't Indigo Mountain. But anyway, it's called Mouse Gray, and it is Peruvian Highland wool, 240 yards. So I have really been into non-superwash yarn, and yeah, this feels absolutely amazing. Yeah, I really, really love this yarn. It's so squishy. And 240 yards, let's see this. Yeah, of DK weight. Like, that's awesome, right? Okay. Moving on to yarn that I bought. So I have some beautiful acrylics over here that I will share with you all. So this one is, it's called Black. And it is a, I love this yarn, which I'm sure a lot of you all are familiar with. And I'm currently trying to use up all of my acrylics. They've been hanging around for a while, but I'm trying to use them all up. And I do have a few, well, I do have one pretty large crochet project that I'm working on, and it's using up a lot of the scraps that I have. But yeah, I'm really trying to use them up. And yeah, a lot of these are for gifts and other little projects, but I had some left over. So the next one that I have is called Pink, and of course I love this yarn, and it's 7 ounces, 350 yards, and it's 100% acrylic. And then I have white. Gotta have white yarn. You just have to have white yarn. I thought I was going to be using this yarn for a baby project, like a commission, because my friend has someone she knows that's having a baby, little baby girl. So yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back about that. But anyway, I already had this in my stash, and if I do, go ahead and make the baby clothes for the little girl, then I wanted to use these colors. So I'm waiting to hear back from that, and I'm hoping that I get to do it because it's going to allow me to use up this yarn. And also, I have this yarn, which you all may remember from my ginormous corner to corner blanket that I just finished. And I bought way too much yarn, y'all. I really only used like 2 skeins of this because each skein is 12 ounces. I did have to dip in this one a little bit, but that was only because like I had ripped that project out, and then I don't know, just from like cutting the yarn over and over again, ripping it out. Anyway, I ended up dipping into this one, but really I only needed 2 skeins of yarn. And another thing, I added 10 extra rows on that blanket. And if you all are wondering what blanket I'm referring to, I will leave that video in one of the end screens as well. But anyway, this yarn is by Yarnspirations, Karen Jumbo. And as I said, it's 12 ounces, 595 yards, 544 meters, 340 grams. So this is a lot, and I have 2, and I have no idea what to do with this yarn because I bought it to make as a gift. So I'm hoping that if I get to make the clothes for the baby girl, that I can use this, because look at these. Look how well they go together. I didn't even plan that, but look how well they go together. So I'm really hoping that I get to do this project. Okay, I'm trying to put stuff back. I'm trying to be good. Okay, I'll fix all that up later. And I showed you all the black yarn. So the last one that I have, and I'm still trying to figure out why I bought this and how long I've had it. But this yarn is Red Heart Super Saver in the colorway Burgundy. It's a beautiful color, beautiful color. I think I bought this because I was going to make a hat for someone. Yeah. I just remember what I was going to do with it. So I wanted to surprise one of my friends who loves to wear beret style hats. And I wanted to make her a red beret. And I knew she wouldn't want to fuss over wool. I knew she wanted something that she could just like throw in the washing machine and be done with it. And so I saw this yarn and I was like, perfect. Well, I didn't tell her that I was going to make it for her, of course. I wanted it to be a surprise. But how about a few weeks later, I see her wearing a red beret? Really? Of course, it was one that was store-bought, but I was like, why would she want 2, you know? So anyway, that's why I have not used this yarn. And I actually, I do have a project in mind. So, Little John Yarn has a hat pattern that I actually think this would be perfect for. And the pattern actually calls for Super Saver. But it's a hat, of course, but it's one of those hats with the wide brim. And so you need a really good sturdy yarn that's going to stay put. And I think that this is going to be perfect because the brim on this hat is huge. I think it's called the sun hat or something like that, but it is huge. And I think this yarn is going to be perfect for it. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to use that soon. All right, so that's all the yarn that I have bought for myself. So moving on, I am going to go to my yarn. I'm going to go to my yarn. So yeah, let me just go ahead and get started because I have a story about all of this. So the first 2 skeins I'm going to start with are these. And I promise you, they're 2 different colors, 2 different colorways. But this one is on my DK base. It is on my Delirious DK base. It's 100% superwash merino wool. And I don't know, it's like, I think I want to over dye it, but I'm not 100% sure. So because it's like, I'll cast on a project and then I'm like, ooh, I could over dye this, which is why it's caked up. So I don't know, I might over dye this one. But that would require me to skein it back up, put it back in a hank, and I don't know if I want to do all of that. But anyway, it is a beautiful yarn. And yeah, beautiful. It's got yellows and light green and blue. But let me tell you why I want to over dye this yarn. You all know I love saturated colors, deep saturated colors. And it's not that this yarn isn't gorgeous, it's just that I want it more saturated. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I should just leave it as is. Look at that. So pretty. And then I have, whoops. Okay, put this away. So then I have this yarn, which is also on my Delirious DK base. And it has similar colors, but it actually was dyed in a different manner. It was a new dye technique that I used, and it has like greens, and this one has like grays in it with the yellow. It's really pretty. So I was thinking about over dyeing this one as well. I don't know, the more I look at it, I'm like, this is really pretty. Maybe I shouldn't touch it. I don't know. What do you all think? Over dye it? Leave it alone? Let me know. Alright, so I do have a few mini skeins. So this is an Adore Worsted, on the Adore Worsted base. And this is called I Found Dory, of course, from the Dory franchise. I Found Dory, and then what was the other one? Nemo, Finding Nemo. But I call this one I Found Dory. So it's kind of a play on those two movies. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I love seeing this worked up, which is why I love when you all tag your finished projects, because a lot of times I'm not able to do samples. But yeah, so love this a lot. And you all can tell how long it's been since I've dyed this because it's on the old label. Yeah. All right. So next I have this one. And yeah, this one was called, it wasn't Aquamarine. Oh dear, I forgot what I named this one. It was so long ago. I haven't dyed this in forever. Yeah, I forget what name I did for this one, but it's a beautiful variegated green. I've been debating about bringing this back to the shop. I don't know. I don't know if people will like it, but it's a beautiful variegated green. And it's, I think this is actually on, this might be on my MCN base. Yeah. I don't think I have a label with it. All right. And this one is called Hydrangea. I have not dyed Hydrangea in so long. But this is on my Pop Life fingering base. And it's beautiful. So I don't know if I had a project in mind for this, or I'm not sure what happened. And we have this one. So this is Serene, and it is on my Kiss sock base. And once again, I do not know why I kicked this up. I think maybe I was going to make a sample or have someone else make a sample, and I just never got around to it. But it's gorgeous. And Serene is one of those colorways. It's really hard to keep consistent across the bases because with the Kiss sock base, it just saturates so easily. It's like that yarn, I don't know if it's the nylon in it or what, but it just soaks the yarn colors up like so fast. But then like if I dyed on a Pop Life fingering with 490 yards, the color is a lot more dispersed. So perhaps it's the size of the skein, because this is, well, no, I don't think it's that either. This has about 400 skeins. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's the nylon. But anyway, it's gorgeous. All right. I have a lot of yarn. I need to, I have a story with each skein of yarn, and I need to, you know, like move along a lot faster, or this yarn video is going to be like 2 hours. So here's another one that I dyed, and this never made it to the shop. It was just one that I was experimenting with, but it's this beautiful variegated navy blue color, and I keep telling myself I need to carry this in the shop, and it matches my outfit. That's nice. But the yarn that I dyed along with it was this, and they're both used, like I used the same dye on this one, but two different techniques. So I did this one, I think I dyed it dry, and I did like a tonal effect. And this one I dyed solid, and look how they came out differently. And I've been really thinking about making a cowl with the both of these, and maybe have like some fringe. I think I bought a pattern from Dabbling Hook. The Dabbling Hook. I bought a pattern from her a long time ago. And I don't know, I've just been really thinking about like a fringed cowl. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but her pattern comes to mind when I look at these two yarns. All right, moving on. So this is Crazy Peacock. I dyed this on my Delirious DK base, And Crazy Peacock was one of those colorways that I first dyed, like I first started with back in 2016. And this is a really tricky color because the dye company changes the dye lots so much that they look different. And so Crazy Peacock has definitely gone through a lot of different variations throughout the year, which is unfortunate. The way that I love Crazy Peacock the most is how I was first dyeing it back in 2016 and 17. Um, but you know, there's nothing I can do when the dyes are different, and I just have to go along with it. So I've had to change and adapt how I dye Crazy Peacock because it just gets difficult to dye sometimes, and I don't want to take it out of rotation because it's an oldie but goodie, and a lot of people like it. So, yep, that's Crazy Peacock. All right. So, moving on, this yarn is called Speckles, and it has like this beautiful deep reddish orange with blue in it, and it is dyed on a base that I have not dyed in forever, but it is dyed on the Bat Dance super bulky single yarn. And I thought about Batman is because, of course, you all know I love Prince, and all of my bases are named after him. And Prince did the soundtrack for the Batman movie, and one of the songs that's in the movie is called Bat Dance. And so, yeah, that's how I got this name. But yeah, it's a beautiful color. And this is another one that I thought about over dyeing, but I don't know. But yeah, so this is the singles bulky weight. All right, and then I have a couple which never made it to the shop, but here it is. And this one didn't make it to the shop. I don't know. I felt like maybe it was just too similar to some other ones, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my head. But this is beautiful. It has like some lavender in it, light blue, dark blues, navy blues. It is beautiful. I hope I wrote down the recipe. That's the real problem when you do these one-offs. It's like, I hope I wrote down the recipe. But it also goes with my outfit, which I like. And then I have this one that never made it to the shop. But it is, of course, it's like this dark green and this beautiful golden type of yellow in it. And so, yeah, and you know, now looking at it, I don't know if there's any Packer fans out there, but it kind of reminds me of like the Packer colors. All right. I need some water. All right, where was I? Y'all, I don't know, my throat just got really tingly. And I think it's the pollen. Like, can we have a moment of silence for the pollen sufferers out there? Oh my gosh, it's horrible. And I just went outside to feed my dog Peanut, and I think I got some pollen in my throat or something, but anyway, let's move on. So I was showing you all my yarn, and I have so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much for sticking around. I have so much. Okay. So the next one that I have is this beautiful green color. And, of course, there's a story with this one. So when I first started dyeing yarn, I dyed yarn in a crock pot. Yes, you heard me correctly, a crock pot. And this was one of the first colorways that I ever dyed, like back in 2016. And yeah, it's just great. It's a beautiful color. And this is dyed on a fingering weight. So yeah, one of my, probably like one of the first 5 or 6 skeins of yarn that I ever dyed. So that's really cool. All right, and then we have this one. This is dyed on my Delirious DK base, and I thought about over dyeing this one as well. It's a beautiful green color, and it has like little speckles of purple in it. So I may over dye this one. Oh, and it also has some speckles of yellow in it as well. And I think I was just experimenting with like a different dye technique, and this is how this one was created. All right, moving on. We're making a dent, people. We're making a dent. The next one that I have is this color. And this color, it used to be in my shop, but it is called the Harley Quinn. Yeah, this one was Harley. No, well, it was called Harley Quinn, but I forget if I called it. I feel like I didn't call it. I may have just called it Harley or Harleen or something like that. Anyway, I do believe that's what I called it. But this is it. It's so pretty. So pretty. Why didn't I list this in the shop? I don't know. Look at that red and that black. I don't know. I've had some of these for so long. I don't know what I was thinking and why they were not put in the shop. Yeah, I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure this is on my Delirious DK base. It is so pretty. Yeah. Alright. Moving on. I have this yarn. This is on my Minnesota DK. And my Minnesota DK base is 50% cotton and 50% superwash merino wool. And I think, I'm not quite sure why I decided to keep this one, other than it's gorgeous. I did want to try using, I think I was, you know what, I think I was going to make a sample or either a swatch out of it. Yeah, that's what I was going to do with this. So it's so pretty. But this is in the shop. Like, this is in the shop now. I do have a few colorways left, or color skeins left. I'm looking at them now. But yeah, this colorway actually is currently in the shop. Alright, and this one is on my Pop Life fingering base, and it is called Raspberry Parfait. You thought I was going to say beret, but no, it's Raspberry Parfait because it reminds me of like the Raspberry Parfait gelatin, or at least it reminded my husband of that, and he's the one that came up with this name. But yeah, beautiful colorway, and I think maybe I wanted to make a sample with this one, not sure, but here it is. Alright, and then we have High Voltage. Okay, so you may be wondering, why didn't I put this one in the shop? I wanted to keep this one for myself. I mean, oh, look at the color. Look at the color. I'm sure I'll make a sample out of it, but y'all, it is beautiful. And yes, this is in the shop as well. But this is called High Voltage. I mean, it's just amazing. I think what the inspiration was for me with this yarn was that it reminded me of lightning. Like when you have like a purple lightning strike. That's how I came up with the name High Voltage. Alright, so I wanted to show these two together because this is what I'm talking about when dyes change. So this one is my Vibranium colorway, and it is on my Kiss sock base. Now this is also my Vibranium colorway, and this is on my Delirious DK. So the difference between these two, obviously this one's darker. Well, the black dye that I used to get from my dye company, it changed over time. And at one time, like, it was like a heavier type of dye, and I could control the speckles better. But then, like, the next time that I bought it, it was like this really fine powder, and so I couldn't control the black dye as much. And so that's why this one's darker and this one's lighter. This one is more of a true form to the actual Vibranium, and this one is just really, really dark. Yeah, it's really dark. But it's Vibranium, and I just didn't feel comfortable putting this one in the shop. I'm sure somebody would have loved it, but that's just me, being me. Alright, so we got that done. Let's see, ooh, what should I do next? Okay, that's really, really special yarn. Oh, I just realized I forgot something. This one. I forgot this yarn. So this yarn is also by Oat Knit Yarn, and it is called Purple Pursuit. And as you can notice, there's only a mini skein of it left. So I did knit a little shawl with this, and I absolutely loved it. I wore it all the time. That was until one day I went to go wear it, and I discovered that it was attacked by moths. Has anybody ever had a project that's been attacked by moths? and it just left like this hole. It just broke my heart. It broke my heart. And so I do have this yarn left to, like, in remembrance of my shawl, but the yarn is beautiful and I really wish I still had the project. Okay, so I'm done with that yarn. I'm going to save that yarn till last. All right, so now I'm going to go to yarn that was sent to me through, yeah, these were all sent through KnitCrate, and I just happened to have them because every now and then a KnitCrate yarn or KnitCrate colorway will catch my attention, and I'll actually keep it for myself. But as some of you long-term viewers know, a lot of times I give away my KnitCrate yarn whenever I reach like a milestone, 3,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, and I'll do a giveaway. Yeah. So this is some KnitCrate yarn that I decided to keep for myself. All right. So we have this beautiful tweed colorway, and this is on their Vitalana base, and it is called Spiced Cranberry, and it's 90% wool, 10% Donegal nets, and this is in an Aran weight. And I really love this, and I needed an Aran weight yarn because I don't really have any Aran weight, but it's beautiful, just beautiful. And I'm so happy that I have two of these. All right. Next up, this yarn may look familiar to you all. I just finished working on the Profusion cowl, and I used these little mini skeins that were from KnitCrate. And this is on their Vitalana base in their ambient worsted base. And this colorway is called Tahitian, and it's 100% superwash Highland wool, worsted weight 100 yards. And this little guy didn't make it into my shawl, but I'm hoping that I can find a project, you know, a 100 yard project that I can use this for. And then I have this little skein that I didn't get to finish. I didn't get to finish using it in the project, but this one is called Famato. Does anybody else stick their skeins in their in the center of their, or stick the yarn band in the center of the skeins? For me, it's just an easy way to keep up with it. But here it is. And once again, if you all want to see more on that cowl or my Profusion cowl, I will put that video in one of the end screens. Moving on, we have this one, also by their Vitalana. Obviously, I like their Vitalana base, but this is called Vitalana Ascendance, and the colorway is called Broken Stones. And this is 100% fine Peruvian Highland wool, sport weight, 328 yards. And so what's interesting is, of course, this does not look like sport weight, but it is using the chainette. It's the chainette yarn. So that's why it seems so bulky. Yeah, it's really bulky. But yeah, love it. All right. So these two. So these were part of a giveaway, and the person never claimed them. And then I tried again, and the person never claimed them. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna save these. So I think these might make it to another giveaway. Yeah. So it's called Shiraz in the City. It's 82% merino wool, 18% Peruvian Pima cotton, and it's a super bulky 109 yards each. All right, so yeah, it's a really, really interesting type of yarn. That is for sure. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's super interesting. And it seems like the yarn sticks together really, really well. Like really, really well. I don't know. I'm not even sure if somebody would want this in a giveaway. Maybe that's why they didn't claim it. I don't know. But yeah, here it is. All right, so the last of the yarn from KnitCrate is this gorgeous yarn that I have skeined up, of course, because I do have a knit project in mind, but we'll see if I try to tackle it. But this is on their Uru yarn base, and it is called Beauty Berry. I love that name. And this yarn is 85% merino wool, 15% silk. And y'all, it's got the sheen of the silk on it. And it is a DK weight, 300 yards. So I am really looking forward to using this yarn. It is gorgeous. So I do have, looks like I have 3 skeins left that I wanted to share with you all. All right, so I'm going to start with this yarn. This yarn was given to me by my lovely friend Marquita of Naughty Crush. She has an amazing YouTube channel. And she gave me this yarn, and this yarn is by Misfit Yarns. And it has like this beautiful, some people call it zebra yarn, but some people call it marled yarn. But isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. And it has like these pops of pink in it. This is really special to me. It's called Violet Sky. But because it's so special, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I need to find the perfect project, which may take me years to find, but it'll be here. It's so pretty. I think it's the pops of the pink in the purple. Yeah, it's stunning. I don't know what else to say. It is absolutely stunning. Oh, before I forget, with the KnitCrate yarn, if you want to try out KnitCrate, you can use my coupon code QUEEN20. Yeah, QUEEN20. I'll put it somewhere up here. I always forget that. But I do put everything in the description box below. So if I forget something, it's in the description box below. Anyway, back to this yarn. It's beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Alrighty then. So, the last 2 skeins of yarn, these 2 skeins of yarn are very, very special to me. Now, these are 2 different colorways. So, look at that. Oh my gosh. Is that not gorgeous? It has purple and pink and orange, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. And here's the other skein. Look at that. It's ivory. Look at that pop of orange. And then the green. This is just absolutely stunning yarn. Beautiful. So these 2 skeins of yarn came from String to Stitches yarn. I don't believe that Adriana is selling yarn anymore, but she gifted me these yarns, and they're just so nice. Like, I did not ask for this. I did not ask for this yarn at all. She had asked me for a favor, and I was more than happy to help her out. She didn't have to do this, and I love them. And you all know that I usually don't use like finer weight yarns, but I don't know what I'm going to use them for. Once again, they have to be for special projects. And yeah, I'll have to find something. But this one is a 75-25, so it's 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards. Oh my gosh. And the colorway is called It's Follow, y'all. And this one's an 80-20. So 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards. Wow. And this one is called Autumn Breeze Fall Leaves. I think that's very appropriate. All right. I think we got through it. I don't know how much time I have left on my camera, but we got through it. So yeah, feel free to show your stash. I would love to see it. I think one thing I can say, like on this channel, you are going to see yarns from all price points and all fibers. It could be acrylic, it could be silk, it could be yak, it could be whatever, merino. I like to use all sorts of yarn. I don't just stick to one type. Yeah, I use it all, and so I hope that you all feel welcomed on this channel, because I want everybody to enjoy coming here. And it doesn't matter like what type of yarn that you're using. I know some people like to knit and crochet while watching, and I just want this to be a place where everyone is comfortable, and it doesn't matter whether you're using a $3 skein of yarn or a $30 skein of yarn. I just want everybody to just come here and hang out and be happy. So I do believe that's everything. I did want to mention a few things. Q&A questions. I am doing a Q&A video soon. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, drop them in the description box below and I will try my best to answer them. So definitely go ahead and do that. And even if I make the Q&A video before you get a chance to put your question, still put your question, because I'm definitely open to doing more than one Q&A video down the line. So even if you're watching this video in the future, weeks from now, whatever, still continue to leave the questions below. Also, I wanted to mention that I've been uploading polls to my community tab. I've had a community tab on my YouTube channel since like 2015, and I really haven't taken advantage of it. So yeah, so I have some polls in there, like, do you crochet? Do you knit? What's your favorite brand of crochet hook? What's your favorite brand of knitting needle? Yeah, so I really just want to engage with my audience, and yeah, go over to my community tab on my YouTube channel and answer some questions. I really like seeing the percentages that people are putting in there, and then of course you can leave a comment underneath. But yeah, go and take those polls, those surveys, I guess you call them. And yeah, I love seeing what you all think. Yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. I have everything that I wanted to share with you all I've put. And yeah, so definitely check out the description box below. There's a few links down there to knitting and crochet supplies. And also, if you want to support my channel, there's some links down there as well. Alright, so I've went on enough. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye!